The Greatest Showman. This stars Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Michelle Williams, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, and is the lyricist that did La La Land. Pasek and Paul have turned the story of P.T. Barnum into a musical, and a lot of people have had some questions about how real this story is, and how accurate it is, and why they turn it into a musical. Now, my interpretation after seeing this film is, one, it is a movie based on a show. It is a greatest show. I know it's not necessarily a music show, but it is a show in general. It is the theatre. It is performing arts. So why would they not turn that into a musical? It's not like they turned some depressing story, about the Depression in the 1940s into a musical. They've turned something very, very, uplifting and fun into a musical. Now, when we're talking about P.T. Barnum and how much he had an effect, how real the story is, all I really know about P.T. Barnum is that he has this circus of freaks. And most of the people know that, and it's a very big circus, and because of that. But the unique details in this movie I don't know about. I can't say that I do, and I think that's been a little bit of a flaw thing. But the movie itself. Now, let me start off by saying it is a musical, guys, and people need to understand that. I've read some reviews and I've read some critics, watched some critic videos and stuff like that about this movie, and people need to understand what a musical is. Now, I am reviewing this as a musical more than a movie. Now, there's obviously a movie is a musical. A musical is a type of a genre of movie. Of course it is, Alex. I'm not retarded. But what you guys need to understand, there's specific elements and there's specific dimensions of a musical that don't necessarily do in normal movies. And the thing about La La Land was something that people liked because it was a normal movie with some music in it, and it had some musical scenes, but it was basically a normal movie. This isn't like that. This is a full-blown musical. So from before I start critiquing the whole movie, you guys need to understand, if you do not like musicals and you're not a big fan of musicals, you're not going to go and watch this movie and enjoy it because it's a musical. And people need to understand it is a full-blown musical. Now, reviewing this musical. This was a hell of a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this movie. The songs in this movie are phenomenal. Every single song, every single performance, I was engaged, I was enjoying, and they did this great thing where instead of, keeping to a genre, and a lot of people complain about this, they turned the kind of the new age popish stuff into the music and the dance and put it into a olden day setting, and I really liked the differences they had with that. They didn't just we're going to stick to the normal, boring-ish musical stuff because it's set in the 40s or 30s. Whenever a P.T. Barnum was around, we're going to update it, and we're not going to update the story, we're not going to set the setting, but we're going to just tweak the songs a little bit, and we're going to set up a little more poppiness and dancing to it, and I think it really worked. I think that was a big element of this musical, was just loving the scenes and loving the music, and I did, and I love La La Land. I've talked about my love for La La Land in that movie, and I think this has more songs that I've truly loved than La La Land did. Now, La La Land only, I think, had like 4 or 5 true musical songs. A lot of it was actually just instrumentals that were really good, and I think La La Land is the better movie. But when it came to specific songs, specific musicals, this had like 8 or 9 really, really great tracks, and I was like, this is legit stuff. Now, performances. Hugh Jackman, this is what he's born to do. I know he's Wolverine, but this is what he's born to do. He's born to sing, dance, and act, and he nailed it on the head. Michelle Williams really was there, but wasn't a main character. She did her part as P.T. Barnum's wife, and she did a good job. She had some nice singing scenes when she needed to, but she wasn't a main attraction. Zac Efron, another main attraction, and damn, he's good, man. I'm a High School Musical guilty pleasure, and I love seeing him do that, and he nailed it. They didn't just make him the eye candy heartthrob that he's been since leaving High School Musical. They're like, okay, we can show off your talent here, guy, and they did. They let him act, they let him sing, and he nailed it. Zendaya, phenomenal, underrated actress. She didn't have a huge role, but when she was on the screen, you were attached to what she was saying and what she was singing, and I think it really worked. And Rebecca Ferguson, I don't think it's a real voice, but whoever really sings that, I think it was some like Swedish Got Talent lady. Beautiful voice, beautiful stuff, but she was great as well. And Rebecca Ferguson's. Now, I really did enjoy this movie, guys, but it is flawed, and I'll say that from the get-go. It is a flawed movie as a movie. They skip some stuff. It is very corny, and it is very, no, I wouldn't say cringe, but very, very, very corny. Let's put it, just the word corny I think is fine. I think it's very, very corny, and the things they did are musical-esque, and that's what you got to understand. Things happen differently in musicals that they happen to in real life-based movies, and people got to understand that when they watch this movie. As a musical, though, they really did skip over a lot of stuff that they could have expanded on. They nailed their head on what they needed to tell you, they told you what you needed to know, but they didn't expand on it. And I think maybe with expanding a few of the relationships, I won't say which ones and what happens, but just expanding it. And it was only an hour and 45. It didn't feel long at all. They could have added maybe another 10 or 15 minutes and just expanded, you know, give them every relationship needed a few more minutes and just give, you know, a little more depth into these characters, and you can really, really get a good movie. Now, it's not for everyone. I've said that. You got to go in and you've got to look at it from a musical perspective, because I think if you look at it as a movie perspective and you look at it and someone maybe not liking a musical, you can just be like, oh, yeah, it's got some songs in it, but the rest of it's pretty shit. You've got to understand what musicals are, and you've got to understand that this is what they were aiming to do. It took 7 years to make this movie, and it was phenomenal. Beautiful scenes, and you could see from the trailers it was going to be very artsy and beautiful looking and very, very good. And it did. It ticks all the boxes of a great musical, and that's why I love this movie so much, because it did all the things right as a musical. Now, am I saying it is a great, flawless movie? Hell no. I've talked about some of the flaws and things wrong with this movie, but personally, and no one has the same opinion exactly as myself, but personally, I think they delivered a hell of a musical and a hell of a movie, one of my favourite movies of the year. And if you're looking for a good time and you're looking for a fun, enjoyable time and you love musicals, I definitely recommend you go and see The Greatest Showman. I'm giving this movie a B+. Thank you guys for watching my review of The Greatest Showman. Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Zendaya, Michelle Williams and Rebecca Ferguson, as well as Pascal on the lyrics. It is just a hell of a lot of fun, enjoyment, and just, you can sing along. And I really can't, you know, extend the fact a lot that the music is great in this. And I do have a weakness for musicals, I'll say that, and I said that before going into this movie. And I had doubts about going to this movie, and I'll explain that when I got some few videos coming out. Now we're talking about upcoming videos. I got a few. I got my top 10 best movies of the year. And I tell you what, it's going to be a hard list to do. I'm tweaking it around now, but it's been a really, really hard year. I'm hoping to drop that on 1st of January. I'm very, very hoping I can do that. I'm hoping I can film it on Sunday night and get that up on Monday for you guys. And I really hope I can live up to that promise. Apologies if it's a few days late. As well as I got a few more reviews coming, and I got a December Blu-ray update to keep you guys up for, you know, keep your eyes out for that. And if you guys like this review or any of my other videos, press the subscribe button to keep coming back for more. You can you can comment your thoughts on the review or the movie, but of course, have a good one.